Hey everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I have a lot of news to go over in today's fourth stimulus check update. We have a ton of news to discuss. I want you folks to know this. House Democrats are now divided over how to proceed in passing a bipartisan infrastructure bill and a broader spending plan. But the sad thing, everybody, is that many Americans, millions of Americans in fact, are still waiting for the IRS to send out the new stimulus checks. You know what I want to see, folks? I want to see the Democrats and Republicans put away the political differences and help out the American people. Because let's face it, folks, the people in Congress are not suffering. It's the good, hard-working American people, and they are the ones that need a fourth stimulus check. If you guys agree with me, then be sure to stand to the end of this video, because I'll be going over much more information. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, everybody. The good news is that House Democrats will move next week toward passing sprawling economic plans that they hope will boost households and help to keep them safe. House Speaker Pelosi must resolve the issues within her party, the Democratic Party that is, over which way to provide trillions of dollars in spending to make up President Biden's economic agenda. And remember, everybody, President Biden did promise during his campaign, and even now, that he would do his very best to help out the American people. So included in his promises is the increase in your Social Security benefits, and of course a stimulus check, which he's already done.
Children under the age of 12, masks are the best available protection for them and the adults around them. That's why we need to make sure children are wearing masks in school. Before I talk about the news related to vaccines, let me say a few words about masks and our children.
But still, even after the third stimulus check is passed, many Americans are demanding for a fourth one. Do you guys agree? Do you think that a fourth stimulus check will help out the American people? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. The Democrats, everybody, aim to approve separate plans, and that is a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill passed by the Senate, as well as a $3.5 trillion investment in social programs like Social Security.
Second shot on February 15th, you're eligible to get your booster shot on October 15th. If you got your second shot on March 15th, go for your booster starting November 15th, and so on. Just remember, there's a simple rule. 8 months after your second shot, get a booster shot. These booster shots are free.
So the House of Representatives next week plans to follow the Senate in approving a budget resolution. And the good news, everybody, is that this will allow Democrats to push their spending plan through Congress without a single Republican vote. And this means we might get a fourth stimulus check before Christmas. And that's great news, everybody. But Pelosi does face a jam from opposite flanks of her party. This comes as she tries to pass the economic agenda of President Biden. So to win over both progressives in her party that want a sprawling spending package, as well as centrist Democrats, Nancy Pelosi has outlined a strategy to vote on the two bills only after the Senate has approved both of them.
Well, in any state in the country, whether it is a blue state, a red state, or a purple state, and you say, you know what? Some people think that we should cut Social Security for folks trying to get by on $15,000 a year. Some people think we should cut benefits for men and women who have lost their arms and legs.
Still, 9 House Democrats are enough to cost their party a majority vote, and they have called Pelosi to take up the bipartisan infrastructure bill before the budget resolution. Democrats have reiterated their stance on Sunday, even after the Speaker said that she would consider advancing both measures during the same procedural vote next week. So attempts to appease centrists could alienate liberals. The Congressional Progressive Caucus said last week that a majority of its 96 members said they would not vote for the infrastructure plan until the Senate passes a robust budget. And this jam leaves the path forward for Democrats unclear, as they plan a brief return from their August recess to push ahead with the economic agenda. Millions of Americans are waiting to receive their child tax credit money, and the waiting is causing frustration, everybody, among many Americans. Early this year, folks, President Biden did send out the third stimulus check in his American Rescue Plan. It also allowed parents to receive 2021 tax returns early through the child tax credit. So parents with a dependent under the age of 6 would receive $3,600 for kids and $3,000 per kids between 6 and 17. And according to multiple sources, roughly 39 million households across the country will begin receiving checks without any further action required. The first round of checks went out in July. However, nearly 4 million parents who received their child tax credits via direct deposit never even received the money. That's not good news, everybody. The IRS must do a better job in helping out the American people. They must do their part in sending out the payments. Do you guys agree with me? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. Now, for those who didn't receive the payment on the 13th of this month, the IRS will begin sending paper checks. And while the checks should come in the mail before the September payment, officials said they don't have an exact date. So the IRS is hoping to get the glitch fixed before the September payment is due. And for parents who opted out of the child tax credit back in July, they can now choose to receive the money by going to irs.gov and changing their status. So yes, everybody, I believe that the politicians in Congress, the Democrats and the Republicans, must do a better job in helping out the American people. They must send out more stimulus payments right away. If you guys agree, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, everybody, and give this video a like. Remember, on this channel, I always do my very best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information.
What do you have to say to the women in Afghanistan right now?
Yes. Well, the women of Afghanistan women and girls in Afghanistan have been a very high priority for many of us in Congress, Democrats and Republicans alike, House and Senate, White House, President Laura Bush, Michelle Obama, Jill Biden, all of us have had that as a high priority. Quite frankly, I think some of the support for our presence in Afghanistan across the country sprang from the interest of the American people of the fate of women and girls in Afghanistan. I've been in Afghanistan 9 times, many times led by Susan Davis of California for a Mother's Day visit. Well, of course, our whole purpose is security, to thank our troops, some of them moms, some of them grandmoms fighting the war, and also to remind some of the others to call home for Mother's Day, but nonetheless also to visit the women in the hinterlands, not just in Kabul, that's obvious, doctors, professors, lawyers, judges, women that are highly visible, and the need for us to protect them, but also the poorest of the poor women throughout the country, and seeing their girls go to school, to see the next generation to have opportunity that they did not have. So we have to make this a subject of the greatest transparency, shining the biggest, brightest light on what the Taliban may do. So far, we're not, they're painting over beauty salons and things like that. We'll see where it goes from there. People ask me, do you trust them when they say, we're not going to change we're not going to hurt women and the rest? We'll see, but we can't take that chance. I've just seen that Malala,